Hello, my name is Lennon Baldwin, and I am taking the Intro to Communications class. Today, I'm going to be talking about my culture and how it affects my day-to-day life, including my nonverbal communication. I'm also going to be talking about mass communication and how it's affected society as a whole, both in a negative and positive way. To start, I'll talk about me. I am German and English on my mom's side, and on my dad's side, I am full-blood German. My great-grandfather was actually an immigrant from Germany who came to the U.S. to be a preacher, and throughout his entire preaching career, he spoke full German to everyone in his church. I don't think that my nationality has a whole lot to do with my culture, if I'm being honest. I know that I am very lucky to be white and have light skin, but I don't always see that privilege just because I do live in Oklahoma, where it is a predominantly white state. I have also lived in California, which is a more mixed state, and having those 2 points of views have made me who I am and have impacted my culture. One thing that I've noticed is my worldview is different from other people that have only lived in Oklahoma. I see the world as a dark place where people get bullied and judged for who they are, what language they speak, and the color of their skin. But it can also be a very opening and accepting place. But it's very hard to kind of see the gray area in between those two, which is something that I do struggle with. One thing that has impacted me in a good way is my ability to communicate with other people and just make people feel more comfortable around me. I always try to come off friendly and welcoming to people I don't know so that they feel able to talk to me and just welcome around me. Some things I do to accomplish this is to present myself in a nice way. I always have my makeup done, and I will also have my hair done most of the time, which makes me feel like a safe place to come to, I've been told. I also have really round cheeks, which are very unthreatening, which I have been told are comforting. Another thing I try to do is to watch the things that I say. I try to make sure that I have a clear point of view before entering an argument, and if I do join an argument, I try to stand my ground and make sure that what I say is what I mean. And in doing this, other people will be able to listen to me and understand exactly what I mean and what I say, and they can get to know me better, I guess. One thing I like about Oklahoma and having most people around me being my race is our nonverbal communication. Some things that I use as nonverbal communication are emojis, hands, gestures, eye glances even. A main thing though is texting slang and even talking slang. When you're texting among, people that you often build your own language, which is always really cool to see it unfold. If I'm being honest, I haven't talked to people of other cultures and races very often in my life. Since I do live in Oklahoma, and I have for most of my life, it's very white dominant, especially at the school I go to and the city I live in. I just haven't had that experience. It's always something that I've been interested in and have wanted to have, but it hasn't happened for me. This is where mass communication comes in. Mass communication allows people of all races, genders, everything to be able to talk to each other. This can be a good thing and a bad thing. Some of the positives are people with similar interests can talk about it to each other and they can bond over that. People with similar family backgrounds can talk about their experiences with their families, and you can just share a lot and people will be able to relate to you. Some negative parts are the fact that it's very hard to argue a viewpoint if they have like a huge following of that viewpoint, which can greatly divide people, which the United States does not need more of, in my opinion. Another thing is in content creating, people of color often get overlooked, even if they're saying the same thing that white creators say. This is something that a lot of creators have talked about, and it's just not great. And it has gotten better over the years, but it is still definitely an issue. I hope this helped you understand how I view culture and nationality. For me, your culture is who you are. It's what builds you. It's not always nationality. It's not always where you live. It can be a beautiful blend of both.